A step forward and two steps backwards. That's how our markets are panning out. Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I am Agam Vakil. We have seen another day of trade where there has been significant decline for the benchmark indices, and today we see the Nifty declining by around 183 points, closing just about the mark of 10,095. And except for 5 counters, all other counters on the Nifty 50 end in the red. We have gains, however, in Indiabulls Housing Finance and market heavyweights, Reliance Industries and Sun Pharma. But if you leave those aside, significant weakness in Yes Bank, Bajaj Finance, Mahindra & Mahindra, Bajaj Finserv, Asher Motors, all of them looking at significant cuts. To move and talk about the broader markets, we have just one gainer for 4 losers on the NSE 500. We may have some gainers which have actually locked in an upper circuit of around 20%. That includes Hathway Cable and Godfrey Phillips on the back of earnings. But if we leave that aside, we don't have as much in momentum. Say for something like a Network 18 or a Narayan Hridale or Gen Irrigation advancing by 7%, but there is plenty more momentum on the downside. So BEML, Bharat Heavy Electricals, Motherson Sumi, Divi's Laboratories, Graphite India, all very, very prominent investor-friendly names are looking at significant cuts in today's day of trade. On that note, let me get in our markets editor, Neeraj Shah, for his thoughts on the markets. Neeraj, was this expected? I don't know if it was, but considering the last 2 sessions, which did turn out to be reasonably all right, the cuts here today were a lot sharper.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are getting proven on the wrong side. Agam, this morning, the whole conversation was with the Prime Minister yesterday in the Economic Times speaking about rekindling the animal spirits, Reliance, AGM, and the positive noises out there.
Right.
We had a positive FI number in Friday.
Neeraj, I think I think there's some problem with an audio, so we're gonna get back to you on that one. Yes, as we were talking about the fact that, what the analysts were thinking previously and what, how things are panning out right now. Well, there are all sorts of questions that need to be asked. Of course, I'm sure we are talking about several other factors here, and the way things are panning out, at least as far as technical levels are concerned, which did throw a lot of investors and traders off guard. But yeah, and Neeraj, again, you were talking about.
Sorry for that small glitch, but if the audio is coming on correctly right now, I think just 2 things. One, that everybody's getting caught on the wrong foot simply because of the positive Qs flow, the FI flows turning positive for the first time in 27 sessions.
Right.
So all of that made people believe that maybe there is an uptick in the offing. Reliance Industries, the heavyweight, was trying to do that at a start which was reasonably decent. Right. I think the PBOC move and the rest of the Asian pack now weighing in, certainly putting paid any kind of hopes. And had it not been for Reliance Industries, over 100-point contribution, we would have been back to levels from where we started this whole up move on Thursday and Friday. Important. Most comments said that Reliance is failing to claw back over the 1300 mark. Even in today's session, it fell shy just of that. Let's wait and watch. If that stops performing, then we have a problem on our hands.
And there's always a risk of longs unwinding in Reliance Industries tomorrow. Should that happen, we
it's
really
3
don't
days
know
of an
what's
uptick
going on.
now. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that one. But Neeraj, thanks for that perspective out there. So that's how things are panning out for the markets right now. But since we were talking about Reliance Industries, let me also very quickly address why we have seen that gain. One is that the company is going to sell stake to Saudi Aramco, and this is going to be the oil and chemicals business specifically for about $15 billion. This is going to be about a 20% stake in just that business. Secondly, the company has charted out a path in order to be zero net debt in the next 18 months. And moreover, the company has also suggested that it's likely to list 2 of its big arms, that is Reliance Jio as well as Reliance Retail. So these are the 3 main developments that came through the AGM, which has led to such strong gains in Reliance Industries. And of course, as you can see, the other stock that is advancing in trade today is Indiabulls Housing Finance. But for that, I'm going to get in Shefali Malik to talk to us about why the surge. Shefali, some lawyers, I believe, have put on a public apology here.
Well, yes, this is with regards to the allegations which were made some time back that, India Bulls Housing Finance, the promoters have siphoned away money and all of that.
Right.
And to which, the company has been time and again refuting those allegations. So now they receive this public apology from a law firm. And the apology, they are actually admitting to the fact that, they did sensationalize the entire allegations which were a part of the petition.
Yeah.
So that is the reason why, that is one of the reasons why perhaps India Bulls Housing surged today. Also, they did admit to the fact that because of that petition, the company has, India Bulls Housing Finance has suffered a lot of damage,
Yes.
financial damage and
Right.
reputational damage. And all this is happening ahead of the merger. And remember, the company came out with the earnings just a few days back, and the management also said that, they are expecting to hear from the Reserve Bank of India in next 45 to 60 days. So probably some amount of excitement which has started to build in ahead of that as well.
Sure.
So,
But
yeah.
sure. But let's also talk about ICICI Prudential. Shefali, what are the updates here?
Not good news as far as that one is concerned, because they did report their APE numbers, which is annualized premium equivalent for the month of June. And after seeing couple of couple of months of stable growth, they've reported very weak numbers this time around. So I'm taking the data from a GM financial report, and the AP growth for the month of July was just about 0.9%. In the month of June itself, it was about 13% on a YOY basis. So from a double-digit level of growth, they have actually fallen down to just a small 1% growth in the month of July. So it'll be interesting to see how the other life insurers have also done, because from past couple of 5-6 months, they've been reporting very stable numbers. In fact, double-digit growth rate since December 2018.
Sure.
So it'll be very interesting to look at the consolidated data.
Okay, fair enough. Shefali, thank you so much for joining us and getting us those details, both on India Bulls Housing Finance and ICICI Prudential. Well, there's plenty of other news to keep an eye on. And I'm sure the markets are going to remain volatile at least for a few more days before we start seeing some stability. We're also going to keep an eye on the FII and DI numbers this evening, as well as what the Bhav copy suggests when it comes to the futures and options data, not just for the benchmark indices, but a whole host of other stocks which have moved in trade today. Well, on that note, let's wrap up on the markets, but lots more lined up. Stay tuned with Limited.